What is up, guys? Stephen Jeffrey of SJ Relics. I hope you guys are doing awesome today. I wanted to just take the time to give you a video about my Smoky Mountain Knife Works experience. For those of y'all that don't know, my wife and I took a anniversary trip. We went to Tennessee. We celebrated by going to Dollywood and just our old stomping grounds. When we first got married 23 years ago, that was where we went. We actually stayed in Maggie Valley and went out from there and went to Dollywood and Dixie Stampede and all that stuff. And when we first got married, and we wanted to kind of relive that experience, just her and I. Anyway, we went to Smoky Mountain Knife Works. It was a fantastic experience. I used to go there pretty often. When I was with the band and we would pass through on the interstate, we'd hop off, take a break, go buy a few knives. At that time, I was buying a lot of Rough Riders, and they were still making Colt knives. So I bought quite a few Colt knives, the buckshot pattern and that buckshot series. I really like those. I think I got a Copper Ridge one or something like that with ram's horn handles, and it has copper bolsters, and got a few fixed blades, and you know, that was my jam back then. Anyway, this time was a whole other experience. I got to experience with my wife. She loved it. I actually really enjoyed herself because they have so much more than knives. And of course, she ended up buying a knife. She bought a hen and rooster paring knife, that of which is in the kitchen, red handled. It is an import, but it's solidly made. Again, got the hen rooster etch on the blade, and very cool stuff. She also picked up a few other things, that of which I walked through the whole store. We went through, and she did one good full pass through the store, just checking out everything, checking out all the knives. And I wanted to see kind of after I do this, what knives did I remember and what ones that I want to return to. And then, of course, after I left, there was ones that like, oh man, I forgot about that one. But these were the standout ones to me, and it really surprised me because I went to the case display, was blown away in awe. I almost pulled the trigger on like a lizard skin, one of those lizard skin series. Baxter's blades, always throwing those up, and you know, I've been really tempted by those. There was the Bear & Sons is putting out so many great knives. Again, I like had several of those in my hand and looked at them and thought, man, you know, this is it. Then I saw the new Queens and blown away by those. Again, those are OEMs by Bear & Sons, but awesome knives, stag handles. The patterns that I like were a little bigger than I wanted for daily carry, but for some reason here lately I've been really into trappers, and I had saw one of these at Mass General Store, and something kind of similar to this. Of course, this was the Smoky Mountain Knife Works exclusive. This was their like knife of the month, knife club. It was their knife club knife. And so anyway, without further ado, went through the whole store, went to every booth, every make and model that they made, and I just kind of looked and took it all in. And we saw this one knife, and my wife's like, you need to get this. You've wanted this one before. You need to go ahead and pull the trigger on this. And I had seen one out of this series on Jonathan at Pins and Blades on his, and I was like, man, I want that one. And it didn't have the spear point. But then I'm a trapper guy, so I without further ado, I got this. And you can see the price. It was $158, and I think I paid $79 for it. And let me see the information on the outside of this. That's that. Hold on, it came in this. This is a German-made Boker. Of course, you know, it had all the case candy. I've taken the knives out of here, and it came in this. So it was a carbon steel Boker knife. Soligen, Germany, and this was it. It's already tinered on the bolsters. It's copper bolsters. It is the burlap micarta handles. This thing, look at that. Look how clean that is executed on the end. And I'll tell you what, and then again, the blade, there is, it's just nice down in the blade well. This is a beautiful knife. These are acid etched. This is acid etched, and I don't remember the steel on this one. See if I can get that Boker Tang stamp to show up. There it is right there. It says Boker. Y'all forgive me here. There it is. Boker, Soligen, and then it's got the little number there, and of course there's their tree. And y'all see the acid etching on that blade. This thing is sharp as a razor. Just very, very positive. Open there. Oh, let me see. We'll do a little. I can't do that with this one. I don't want to cut myself right before my client comes, but I'm doing this in between clients here. But anyway, just an awesome knife. Listen to that snap. This thing is going to tiner really well. Again, Boker Trapper, full-size Trapper. Again, this thing just blew me away. I love it. Like I say, I wanted a spear point. I saw on Jonathan's channel on Pins and Blades, and I ended up with the Trapper, and I am not disappointed. Second off, again, went back over to Bear & Sons, went back to the Queen, went back to the vintage knives, where I saw Brother Randy had got a few knives from the vintage knives. They had some awesome knives back there. I kept like, oh man, I want this, and I want that Boker American Story series, and they had this Prairie Schooner, and I want to get that one. But anyway, I got this Boker Tree Brand. The end of the box says made in Germany. But here's the knife, and this thing, the workmanship on it just blew me away. This thing is absolutely, absolutely, see, straight down Broadway. But that another knife is too. I meant to show you that. This thing's straight down Broadway. Look at the pivot. Nothing in that pivot. Let me show you, just for comparison, just for kicks. Here's a Case Trapper. Look at that pivot. Here's the Boker. This is the full-size Case Trapper. Again, there's the case. Here's the Boker. Look at the end of those back springs on the case. Again, no diss on Case. I love it, but this knife, this Boker, was cheaper than this Case. Tortoise scales. I could have got the bone option, which was a little bit more, but something about this tortoise just blew me away. And look at the etch on that blade. Tree Brand, Boker. The back of it says D2 steel. Just nice little pinch on those bolsters. Anyway, this knife blew me away. And for a reference, here's the case. Identical knife, identical in size. You know, same size, same silhouette almost. But just the workmanship on this thing is just clean. And it says Germany on the box. Y'all correct me otherwise. Here's the case blade. Of course, this is my case. This is one of my daily carries. You can see all that. And there's that Boker. So you can see the difference in that clip blade there. Again, just awesome knife. I was absolutely stoked to get it. Check out that series. Again, that is the Boker Tree Brand traditional series. And then JC Mountain Jar, Brother Jim at Barlow Brigade, all these guys. I think Aaron A-Dub had one of these. This is the Rough Rider. This is not a series. This is just, Tim School of Fish had one. Just a Barlow, has that Art Deco inlay, bone scales, got the Fred Flintstone looking white bone. Look at those bolsters there. Half stop, sheep's foot blade. You'll forgive me, I'm trying to learn how to do the camera this way. Look at that swedge on the end of that sheep's foot. Again, here we go. Half stop and close. Just an awesome knife. Just a great deal. 19 bucks. 19 bucks. That's a whole lot of knife. Look at those back springs. Again, just everything about it. A lot of knife for the money. That's the other thing on the Boker. I want to say, look at those back springs too. I know I'm going to keep talking about this thing, but look at that. Look at that thing. No gapping. Zero gapping. Again, I'm going to go back to that. And then I got one more thing to show you, but I got to pause for a second. Sorry guys, I'm back. I had to make the donuts. My last few clients showed up of the day, so I finished them up. But lighting has totally changed, so you can tell it's later in the day. This is this was actually the first thing that I picked up when I got Smoky Mountain Knife Works. It is an old timer Slim Series cleaver. Again, these are $17.99. Really cool little knife, cool little slim pocket carry. It has got G10 handles, steel liners, just very minimalistic. It's got a pocket clip. It is a flipper. Here, let me do that again. It's there we go. It is a flipper. Has that kind of samurai sword shaped cleaver blade. That, I don't remember what that's called, but anyway, that little back swoop to it. There's the Tang stamp. Old timer. And then OT Slim. Again, just a neat little daily carry. Some of the new stuff they're doing, they had a lot of new fresh things at the old timer display. While I was at the old timer display, gentleman there asked me had I ever heard of old timer knives, and of course he said that was one of his favorites. So he asked what I was carrying. Of course, I'm taking part of the Richter Knives 30-day challenge. This is my old timer 94 OT. See, I'm getting some teeners on it now. This looked in new condition when I first started using it, and I'm a little more than a weekend on it. So I was a little behind some of the other guys, but it has been a real fun carry. I'm also carrying my Barlow Brigade official field tester card, signed by Big Jim himself. Just very cool thing. I've got my rule number 9 chip. Brother Tom at ThatPocketKnifeGuy. I've also got one of these in black. These have been really fun. Really neat idea. Really neat idea. And everybody that doesn't know where the rule number 9 saying comes from, I think it's from like CSI or one of those shows. Always carry a knife, or always carry a good knife. So very cool. And thank you again, Brother Tom. One of the last pickups too, I also picked up some Swiss Army knife toothpicks and some tweezers. I already hooked up a few of my knives that I had all that missing. So those are always handy. They only cost a few bucks. And the other carry that I got, I went on, I'm finally part of Whatnot. So give a shout out to Dwayne Clark's Kentucky Knives. He is having a knife show this weekend at Danville, Kentucky, at the Danville Church of God. So if anybody's in that area, it's going to be an awesome knife show. One-day event, maybe 2 days. I think it's a one-day event at Danville Church of God. Of course, you can go to Clark's Kentucky Knives and find out info for that. A lot of the knife tubers are going to be there. But on his auction, I finally got hip and got made a Whatnot account, which can be very dangerous. This knife says Cobain. This is a Frontier. My son's name is Corbin, C-O-R-B-A-N. So that's why I was really kind of drawn to this knife. And second, it was a Frontier Double Eagle. Shout out to Brother Mike Yarlett, because he has the ultimate Frontier collection. And word has it that this came out of Mario from MIPD 1980s personal collection. So I'm honored to have that and carry that. Again, made in the USA. Frontier. This is probably 80s, late 70s, 80s. It's really cool how the knife community came together for Brother Cornbread and Miss Yvonne. Of course, everybody knows what's going on there, but it's I think 5 auctions now, and so many people donated. So many people have bought and support. And as I was watching the other night, people were just leaving tips. It's really cool, the sense of community and how everyone's come together around Brother Cornbread from Hunting for Hookers. Again, you know, just be aware of just how cool this whole community is. And you know, this has done, even though this has been a bad circumstances, it's reinforced how the sense of community within the knife community works. And there's a lot of great people. So without rambling on, that's what I'm carrying. That was my Smoky Mountain Knife Works trip, and it's awesome, guys. I don't know if I've said this earlier, but Baxter's Blades, he said that every trip to Smoky Mountain Knife Works is like a knife show, and it definitely was. And shout out to Jonathan from Pins and Blades as well. Without him, I wouldn't have heard about this series. Again, this is their club knife, and he of course had the spear point model, and I saw that and I thought, man, I really dig that one. Of course, they didn't have any of those left, but I was able to snag this cool trapper, which again, I love a trapper. But check out Brian's Knives is having his 1,000 sub celebration, and in honor of that, he is passing it on, you know, to Jonathan at Pins and Blades. And so if you go to Jonathan at Pins and Blades site and comment on the giveaway video, and of course definitely subscribe to Jonathan. Great content. Again, it's how I heard about this series of knife. You can be a part of that giveaway that Brian's Knives is doing, and also support another up-and-coming channel like myself. Jonathan has a unique and awesome take on the EDC community, because he's also not coming just from the knife perspective, but he's also coming from the pins perspective, which I've got several friends that are into pins, into watches. I used to call it the insurance man way, because it was all about your ring, your watch, your pin, and then of course your pocket knife. But anyway, just very cool part of EDC community. He has a very artsy way of presenting and filming his knives and doing his videos. Just a really cool guy. I get the feeling that Jonathan would be a guy that I would get along easily with, and I always enjoy his content, and he just presents it really, really well to a very high standard. So anyway, check that out. Get in there where you fit in there. Get in that giveaway. And again, get out there this weekend. Do something. Enjoy the outside. Wherever you go, whatever you do, carry a good knife. This is Stephen Jeffrey of SJ Relics signing off, saying God bless you. And again, have a wonderful night.